It's homework time! Yes! Let's do it! Lesson 5. Start out in the usual, customary, and proper manner by writing our names at the top of the paper. So if you turn in your homework, you get credit for what you did, and even if you don't, if you just set it somewhere, misplace it, you have your name on it so you know it's yours. Now let's write today's date, because anything worth doing is worth doing well. We will draw a tape diagram to solve the following problems, which I guess is same as redraw right. Okay. So Timmy, I noticed that in Eureka Land, people drink lots of water. Hydration is very important in Eureka Land. And when they're not drinking water, what are they drinking? That's right, punch. They're making punch. And so this time, Timmy's hitting the water hard. All right, so Timmy, here we go. So he is yesterday and today. So let's kind of start thinking about our tape diagrams already. So Timmy drank 2 quarts of water yesterday. Well, let's go ahead and draw that. So 2 quarts. And we'll write in here 2 quarts. All right. He drank twice as much water today as he drank yesterday. So this tape is just going to be twice the length of that one. And gosh, you know, I'm not even going to pretend that like we have to like figure this out. Twice the 2 quarts is 4 quarts, right? Okay. Now, important here though is how many cups of water did Timmy drink in the 2 days? And I tell you, because if you were taking a standardized test, and not a Eureka test, but a standardized test where they have like A, B, C, and D, I guarantee you, because they hate children so much when they make these tests, that they would put as one of the answers would be 6, like 6 quarts, because obviously we're adding them together. We're in the 2 days. I'll draw my happy little brackety there. Okay, and that's W for the water. But they would put 6 because that's what you get if you're right. Oh, but didn't read carefully enough that they're asking for cups. Okay, so if we were to write out all the math here, we're doing 2 plus 4, yes indeed, is 6 quarts. Now we want to convert that to pints and then to cups. Yes, we could do it in one step, but I want to make sure we understand what we're doing. So up here I'm going to draw, hey, look, here's a quart. And I'm drawing it like a quart of half and half that I buy for my morning coffee. I'm taking way too much time to do this. Forgive me. It's fun because coffee is important. Candy is dandy, my friends, but all right, coffee is quicker. So 6 quarts. Now look, if I were to cut this in half, I would have 2 pints. And so each of those quarts is 2 pints. So if I multiply it by 2 pints per quart, that would give me, hey, that's 12 pints. Now, within those pints, if I were to cut each of those pints in half, I would then have cups, because there are 2 cups in each pint. So again, if I multiply by a conversion factor of 2 cups per pint, in this case, indeed, I would have 24 cups. And so our statement is, well, Timmy, bless his heart. Timmy. I hope your name is Timmy, because my name is Timmy too. Timmy drank, we're all Timmy, 24 cups of water. I'm going to write out a full thing. Sometimes I'm a little lazy about this, I admit it. In the 2 days. And that would be a complete statement. So essentially we did the redraw right there, including our cute little half and half container. All right, let's go take a look at number 2. Well, while Timmy's busy hydrating, Lisa is vegetating in front of the TV, but she's smart about it. Lisa recorded a 2-hour television show. When she watched it, she skipped the commercials. Forward 30 seconds. It took her 84 minutes to watch the show. How many minutes did she save by skipping the commercials? Well, I'm just going to write here she could have saved 84 minutes plus the time it took her to set up the recording if she had just gone outside. Okay, I won't do that. So we have to draw, though, for this. So the whole thing now is 2 hours, right? That's the whole showy shebangy show. All right, move that down. I often leave not enough room above here. And that's the whole thing. It's 2 hours for the whole television show. 84 minutes, which we're going to assume is the better part of it. There is the show itself. And then this is C for commercial. This is 84 minutes. And this is C for commercials, and this is what we want to find. So we see if we take the 2 hours, the whole, subtract the known part, we'll find the unknown part. We've been doing stuff like this since like modules 1 and 2, right? The only thing is we can't say 2 hours minus 84 minutes because that's kind of useless. So what we can do, however, is say 2 hours, and I know you probably know this, but if we multiply by the 60 minutes in each hour, that will give us 120 minutes. And then we can subtract the 84. I'm going to write minutes, sorry. Sometimes I do M for my own purposes, but that can be misread as meters. So, and all right, we can add up to figure this out, right? 6 will get us to 90, and from 90 to 120 is 30. 30 and 6 are 36, so the commercials are 36 minutes. And so she saved, Lisa says, Lisa saved 36 minutes by skipping commercials. And you see I'm being a good little boy and writing out complete sentences for these, which I don't always do. Hey, that's nice. You feel good about that? Me too. Let's go look at number 3. Well, Jason, Sarah, and David are a lot like me, and maybe you are too. I got a soft spot in my gullet for cashews. Whew. Tasty stuff there. I like the raw cashews, in fact. Yum. Jason bought 2 pounds of cashews. Generous fellow that he is, he shared them around. Sarah ate 9 ounces of those 2 pounds. David ate 2 ounces more than Sarah. How many ounces were left in Jason's bag of cashews? Let's hope they left him some. We actually could draw this 2 different ways. We do have a comparison going on here. David ate 2 ounces more, but we also have parts of a whole. So you could draw 3 separate tapes here. Jason bought, Sarah ate, David ate, and then we're looking at the difference between them. I'm actually going to break with protocol and draw one. Let me make it plenty long there so I have room to work in it. One long tape, and here's why. Because we are dealing primarily with parts of a whole, although we do have a comparative analysis within that. So it's 2 pounds of cashews. It's the whole bag. Sarah was responsible for consuming 9 ounces. And then David ate 2 ounces more than Sarah. Hey, I'm not going to pretend that we can't add single-digit numbers because we can. So David is 2 ounces more than Sarah, who is 9 ounces. So 9 and 2 make 11, right? And so 11 ounces. And I do want to emphasize that I don't know how big these are supposed to be, these sections. I just know that they're parts of a whole. So they're not drawn to proportion. You know, we don't know yet. We haven't done the math. This is what we want to find, though, and we're going to call this C again, but this time for cashews. So you see, we are dealing with parts of a whole, although we have a comparison within it. I think one tape works better here. All right, so let's go ahead and do the math. So 9 ounces and 11 ounces were consumed for a total of 20 ounces, yes. Now we can't just say 2 pounds minus 20 ounces. We need to be talking about the same thing, Ed. So 2 pounds is how many ounces? Well, you probably know that 2 pounds, that each pound has 16 ounces therein. And so if we multiply by a conversion factor of 16 ounces per pound, that will tell us that we have, yeah, this is one I've been telling you, kind of just commit this to memory, and here it is again, 32, that's right, 32 ounces. Now we can subtract, and I'm just going to continue on here, although it's not really an equality. It works. Do what works. All right, minus the 20 ounces leaves what? 32 minus 20 we're doing? Yeah, 12. Okay, so 12 ounces. So Jason, fortunately, they left him the lion's share. David almost overdid it. 1 ounce more, David. But fortunately, David had some self-control. So Jason has 12 ounces left in his bag of cashews. Lucky Jason. Sorry, my handwriting's not too splendiferous there. But hey, we're going to go on to number 4 and make everything just right. Coffee break. That's why I love the unknown. I love the unknown. Label the rest of the tape diagram below, and then we're going to solve for the unknown. I tell you, those are instructions for life. Solve for the unknown. 5 feet is the first tape. Then we have this one. Okay, so this one is what? Oh, yeah, so this is 2 times 5 feet. So let's label the rest of the tape diagram. So this is 5 feet, and then this is the same, right? So this obviously is meant to be, this is twice as much, okay? So 5 feet and 5 feet, we can figure that out, that this is 10 feet. All right, now this is going to be, we see the difference between this 10 feet and this tape, unknown amount, is 10 inches. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that so that we are labeling. So this is going to be 10 feet minus 10 inches. And the way we do that is we decompose. I'm going to kind of go outside the box here. I'm going to leave 9 of those feet alone, right? I'm just going to leave them alone. And this is the same thing we did, oh yeah, when we were subtracting mixed numbers. And I was like, hey, you're going to leave 9 of those cakes alone, but one of the cakes you're going to cut. I mean, really, this is 10 minus 10 twelfths. We're doing a whole number minus a fraction here is exactly what we're doing. It's not just like that. It is that, my friends. All right, I'll calm down. So 9 feet and I'll put feet here so we don't forget. And now 12 inches. And now I can subtract the 10 inches with ease and pleasure. And that will give me 9 feet, 2 inches. And then we're trying to solve for these two here, right? So what we're looking at is, where could I write this? Best place to write this, I think, will be down here. We're looking at this 9 feet, 2 inches plus 10 feet. So it's 10 feet, which is this 5 and 5, so you know where I'm getting that from. And then this tape is 9 feet, 2 inches for a grand total. Yeah, they made the math pretty straightforward here for us. 19 feet, 2 inches. And I'm going to, I don't normally do this, but circle that so it's clear that, like, hey, that's my answer. That's my solution for the unknown. I love the unknown. Write a problem of your own that can be solved using the diagram above. Okay, now this is going to be an example. This is a venti triple soy latte. And normally it costs over $6, but here's a little math for you. I got it for free, because it's like that. All right, so write a problem of your own that can be solved. So what do we have? It's easiest to do these in terms of 3 different people. We could do this in other ways. Okay, you could have something that's growing and receding or something. But if you think about 3 different people, it's pretty straightforward. This person has 5 feet of something. This person has twice as much. This one has 10 inches less than that. So what do these people have that comes in, like 5 to 10 foot lengths? Could be rope, chain. We've had chain questions before, which are a little disturbing. Boards. Yep, wooden boards can come in lengths like that. Anything else? What is it? What else could be like that? Maybe we can come up with something a little more interesting and creative that you'd have 5 feet of. Well, cloth, or they've done yarn. Those are things you buy by the foot. And so that's what you have to think is, like, if you went to a store and bought something, what would you buy a certain number of feet of? I don't know. What do you think? All right, we'll go with chain. I think that's kind of like funny and interesting. Okay, so and then we have to make up some names here. So let's use, I like using very creative names like Bob, Jane, and now we'll make up a silly name. His name is Yizzle Puke. Yizzle Puke. That's a Z. That's how I make my Z, sorry. So Bob has 5 feet of chain. And if I were really being a wise guy, I'd say, for the gang fight. But that's totally wrong. That's wrong, so I won't say that. Why does he have 5 feet of chain? Well, in a lot of these questions, they don't even define why. But I'm going to say to chain up his chinchilla. And I might be misspelling that. You can check me. I'm not sure. Okay. Jane, and we're not going to say has 10 feet. We're going to say has twice as much, right? Has twice as much as Bob. And to be correct, I could have said twice the length of chain as Bob is a little more mathematically precise. And then I have to look at my spelling here. Yizzle, I'll write my Z more normally. Yizzle Puke, that's her name, Yizzle Puke, has 10 inches less than Jane. Jane and Yizzle Puke combine their chains. How long is their combined chain? Again, I apologize if my handwriting's not so great on this. It's different writing on this tablet. Not that it's much better on pencil paper, but you get the idea. And obviously, don't copy what I just wrote there. I'm trying to give you a sense of what you could do if 5 people in your class turn in the same thing word for word. Teacher's gonna know something's up. All right, great. Let's go finish out this homework time. Still, I love the unknown. Create a problem of your own. Oh, I'm good at that. How about you? Creating my own problems? Oh, yes. Using the diagram below and solve for the unknown. So we have 3 pounds here, and then here we have, the 3 pounds repeated 4 times, right? So this is 3, and I'm not going to write pounds. We know it's pounds. 3, 3, 3, 3. And so I'm going to even squeeze in a little bracket here to say, okay, I can do 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, so this is 12 pounds. All right, and now this is 8 ounces more of half that. Okay, whew. So we're going to do as we did before. The instructions don't specify and actually label how much this is. So we know that this, right, is 3 and 3. This section of it, this is 6 pounds. 6 pounds, 8 ounces. Okay. So now our bracket is questioning, what is the grand total? And so we can actually, there are a couple of ways we can go about this, but I think the easiest way is just to add up the pounds and ounces. So we have 12 pounds, 6 pounds, 3 pounds, and we'll add those up. We won't forget about the 8 ounces. We'll come back to it. So that's 18 and 3, 21 pounds. And then we know we have this 8 ounces, so I'm just going to write it right there, 8 ounces. Okay, so there we go. So we actually already solved for the unknown. Now we just need to create a problem of our own. Once again, we are human beings who are specialists at creating problems of our own. So let's do that. So what do we, so again, we could do this different ways. The most straightforward way, though, kind of the easiest, is to have 3 people who have a certain poundage of some substance. And of course, we could have loads of fun with this. I know my students would be writing questions about diarrhea and such, but let's be just a tad bit more mature than that. Coffee breaks are important, my friends. So what can they have pounds of? Well, what are things that we buy by pounds? Well, obviously anything in the meat and deli department. Hey, I like cheese. Do you like cheese? Oh, yes. And so we need 3 people here who are buying cheese. Lots of cheese. I mean, 12 pounds of cheese is a big old hunk of cheese. Okay, so we used some interesting names last time. Let's do that again. Instead of Bob, we'll have Rob. And instead of Jane, we'll use Sierra. I have my own reasons for doing that. And now this one will be WLPOA. What would be a good letter to end this name out here? T, yeah. Wilpot. Wilpot, and it's pronounced, it's spelled Wilpot, but it's pronounced Vilpa. Okay, so Rob bought 3 pounds of, well, what's a good kind of cheese? How about Gouda? And I'll specify cheese just in case, you know, there's any confusion. And bought 3 pounds of Gouda cheese, and let's keep the sentence going. Sierra, she bought 4 times as much as Rob. Now, Vilpa, W-L-P-O-A-T, at first bought half as much as Sierra, but went back for another 8 ounces. And don't we all do that from time to time? Go back for a little bit more. So now our question, obviously, we're looking at a grand total. How much Gouda? Do they have all together for the capital cheese party? Okay, and we actually already solved here that they will have 21 pounds, 8 ounces. So believe it or not, yes, we did it. You did it. Congratulations, you're done with another homework time. Hope you had fun. I'll see you next time as once again, homework time.